Amy. I hope everyone is having a great holiday season thus far, and you might have seen my previous video where I talked about why I'm dressed like this, but if you haven't, you can go watch it. It's only a minute. But yeah, today I wanted to go through some of the questions that you guys have, and I really want to talk about them because they were such great questions and I didn't want you guys to wait too long, although I normally do reply to you in advance. But anyway, so my first question is Jasmina Dunovic. Hi Amy, I'm a new subscriber and came across your video through Mel in Melbourne. Hi girl, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. For months I've been eyeing the boy bag, but then I came across the Diorama and now I'm not sure what to do. The Diorama, did you come across it? Do you have friends that have it? What do you think? Sorry for all the questions. So far I love your channel, especially the luxury items. Great job. Thank you so much. I have to be honest, I actually have not seen it in person, the Diorama bag, but I love it. And I just don't want to step into Dior. Well, first of all, because it's kind of not in my way. I usually shop at Holt Renfrew and their Dior section is not as big. But the boutique is actually at Hotel Vancouver, which is so close anyway. But that's beside the point. I'm trying not to step inside Dior because I know I will fall in love with so many of their bags. Namely the Lady Dior and the Diorama. Speaking of the Diorama, I have a very good friend. Her name is Pei, and you guys probably know her. She's Bagaholic Stories in YouTube, and she has great videos. She did a great comparison video. I also kind of spoke to her by messaging, and that was a while ago, and kind of like tried to figure out from her which one I would probably like more. But personally, she likes the Diorama the most, or that's one of her favorites because the chain is a lot lighter. It's hollow chain, and the bag style itself is just really unique. Not as many people have it as opposed to the boy bag. Now in terms of resale value, that's probably where it's weaker as compared to Chanel. You can't really go wrong with the Chanel, and if you're not sure down the road, you can always sell it and most likely recuperate your money. But if you're the kind of person who you're more into styling, you don't really care so much about branding, and you're probably not gonna really resell it per se, then the Diorama is such a great choice. And yeah, let me know what you decide, and I will also let you guys know, I guess once I'm brave enough to step into Dior to check out myself all the lovely bags there. Emily Chevrier, congrats, it's lovely. I like how the mini doesn't have a double fat. I wish Chanel items were not so hard to come by. It seems like it can be quite difficult, especially in Canada, which is unfortunate. Have you ever looked at the walk? So I have actually looked at the walk. That was a long time ago actually, and I must say that even the walk is beautiful, and I do know lots of people, you know, really love it, and it's a highly coveted bag even if it's just like a wallet on chain. To me personally, I probably won't get it anytime soon just because first of all, the chain is way too long for me. I know you can double it up or whatever, but I'm not into doubling up anything. I just like to use a bag as it is. I don't like to modify any of my bags or even embellish them. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is it's just really too small for my needs. Personally, you guys know I always carry only a handful of items, but the first thing that I always test is whether it fits my current camera, which is the Canon G7X. If only maybe the chain was a bit shorter, and if it only was a bit wider, as in a bit thicker, so that it can accommodate more. But who knows, maybe down the road when I don't have to carry these things, or maybe if I change phones and my items become smaller and I can downsize, then yeah, I will definitely look into one. But at the moment, I don't have that need. Susie, Amy, is it worth it to sell my Speedy B25 to get the Metis? I love the Speedy, but the opening is so small and annoying sometimes, and it is bulky. Which one would you keep if you had to choose? If given the choice between the two bags, I would probably just go and choose the Pochette Metis. And I know there is issues with mine. I mean, they're glazing issues, and I think glazing issues is, they will happen with with time for sure. So it's not something that you can avoid per se. Down the road, you will have to reglaze your bags. That's just how it is. I guess in my case, it just happened faster than normal, and also my first repair was not done properly, so they had to reglaze it a second time. But that aside, the bag itself is such a great design. It's so easy to carry. It's just such a lovely bag. The Speedy is super iconic and it's super classic, and it's been around for so long. But the Pochette Metis is just like the perfect size for everyday wear without being too bulky. It still can accommodate all the things that I need plus a little bit more, so I can fit in a few more little things in it. Of course I can do that with the Speedy, but the Speedy, if you don't fill it up, it does sag a little bit. How much you carry on a daily basis. I know some people like to carry way more, like their entire life, extra things in it, and so the Speedy is actually great for that because you can throw in your scarf and whatever. It is a lot harder to find things, in my opinion, because it's just a black hole, and I tend to not like to use any organizers nowadays just because I feel like it just takes up too much space, and with the smaller opening it just doesn't seem to work well for me. I just get so annoyed and so frustrated. So like for me, the Pochette Metis would still be my first choice. And also, if I had the chance to redo it, I probably wouldn't have gotten the Speedy B. I mean, it's hard to say because I do love the fact that mine, because I do have it in damier band, I do love the fact that mine, I can use it in all weather. So it does come in handy on those really rainy days. But honestly, other than those days, I just don't use it because I don't enjoy it as much. In conclusion, it sounds like you feel the same way as I do, and I feel like for you to sell yours, to get the Pochette Metis would be a great idea, and I think you would probably enjoy the Pochette Metis a lot more than the Speedy B. 12 Zara, 12. You should check out the Diorama bag, walk or the medium, change it up a bit. And then Andre, along the same lines, hi Amy, great Q&A. I've had the Lady Dior on my wish list for a long time. Have you ever considered it? So like I mentioned earlier, I have, honestly, you guys. I just haven't gotten to the point where I felt like I needed to explore Dior yet. But honestly, I have my eyes on so many bags that you guys post on Instagram or talk about on YouTube. And the Lady Dior as well as the Diorama are both like such coveted bags, and they're really beautiful. And I honestly think that if I did try them on, I would go crazy. And that's why I'm trying to resist. But hopefully maybe in 2017 I can look into those, and I actually don't know which ones I would get first. Like looking at my collection and also just looking at how I've been using my bags, I kind of like have to analyze whether there's a need. Well, obviously there's no need, but like I guess whether I can even find occasions to use those designs. I guess I can. We'll eventually look into those, but thank you so much for the suggestions, ladies. Inspired G. Hi Amy, I recently got the Mini 2 in the same combo as yours, and I am in love. However, I noticed that mine, the interior leather around the metal on the bag itself, not the flap, looks a little distressed. Perhaps it's the way the metal was attached to the leather. Not sure if it's normal, and also what is the strap drop. Alright, so here's the bag, and I think you're talking about where, I guess, this part where the metal protrudes underneath, and you're saying that your leather is distressed. Mine seems quite flat, and I don't know if it will be hard to show it on camera. I'll try my best. However, the bottom does bulge out a little bit, and if you ask me, I would think that it's normal. I guess it depends on how yours really is, and the reason why I say that it's because it's still leather. I think the inside is actually lambskin, if I'm not mistaken. So lambskin is also a lot softer, and I guess in order for them to make this whole bag, they have to, you know, maneuver it and all. Mine looks quite flat on like this side, inside, but I'll just show it to you and you can sort of compare. The strap drop on this is about 20.5 inches. 20.5 inches. It's not completely flat. You can see that the bottom, it does bulge up a little bit. It's just the way it is, but it is relatively flat here on the where this part is. This leather piece is quite flat, but I wouldn't be too worried about it if it's distressed in a sense, because it is the inside. Take a look at yours and compare it to just what I showed you and see if there's a big discrepancy. And if you're really worried, I suggest that you go back to your store and let them know, just in case it is a defect. MS Spanders 10, hi Pam. Thank you, sweetie, for another great Q&A. My question for you is, I am looking at the Saint Laurent Sac de Jour in the baby size. What are your thoughts on that bag? Thanks in advance. And it's really funny that you mentioned that, because during the summer, I think it was around July, I was actually debating between the Celine Nano luggage as well as my Louis Vuitton, what is it called now? Palm Spring backpack, the BB one. And anyway, you guys know that I went with the Louis Vuitton in the end, but I also went to Yves Saint-Laurent and looked at their bags, and I did also come across the BB version of their Sac de Jour. It is definitely longer, it's a rectangle, and there's no zipper closure or anything. From what I remember, there's a adjustable strap. The leather is really nice, well, the one that I looked at anyway, and it just looks so feminine, especially when you just carried it by hand. Now, the only sort of worry that I have at the time, and thus the reason why I didn't buy it, was because the opening, there was no sort of closure, like nothing. At least with the Nano, there was a zipper closure, even though the strap was not as adjustable. I don't do handheld bags really well. It's just not my preference. If I were to use that bag, I would probably have used the shoulder strap a lot. And so I feel like with it dangling around with all my content inside, I wouldn't feel secure. I don't want my camera to fall out, or my phone. The resale value on the Saint Laurent or even the Celine wouldn't have been that as good. So therefore I went with the mini backpack with Louis Vuitton. But I think any of those three choices would have been great. It just depends on whether you think or you envision yourself as just loving it and just using it without thinking of selling it. Luxury Lover, hi Amy. I've recently fallen in love with the Capucines BB as well, and I've been waiting quite a while for the boy bag in the exact combination that I want, but can only get one. Which one would you get, knowing that you sold your boy? When I was checking out the Capucines BB in my latest vlog in the LV holiday party, I have to say that I really want one too. There's just too many bags. It's just impossible, and that's also why my wish list also changes a lot and all the time. But back to the question is, in my case, I would think that it depends on your collection. So with my current collection, I have my Chanel Jumbo, I have my Chanel Mini now. So I feel like getting the boy bag would just be not really the same, but for me, I'm really happy with the two Chanel bags that I have, so I don't necessarily feel like I need a boy bag, whereas the Capucines is so different from all the other bags that I have. In my case, I would have gotten the Capucines BB just for, you know, added variety, and also I just love how the quality feels when I was holding it and trying it out in the store. I just love it so much. The Chanel boy bag, they always retain their value really well. If one day you do become tired of your boy bag, your chances are you will be able to sell it and recuperate money, most of the money, if not all or more. Whereas with LV, I don't think so, because there are Capucines out there that are on the, you know, pre-love market, and the price that they're sold at is good, but probably not as good as, you know, it's just lacking a little bit. And perhaps that's just on the bigger sizes, because I do notice that people tend to like the BB size more, and therefore maybe the BB size will have a higher resale value. I'm not sure, but that's something to keep in mind. And the last question is by Michelle Lowe. I'm considering between the Speedy B25 in damier or the empreinte. What is your suggestion for an everyday bag, because the price difference is quite big between the two? I personally don't like the zipper opening of the canvas version just because I do feel that it's so small, but some people do love it. So between the two, I would say the canvas version being a lot lighter would be a better choice as an everyday bag. That doesn't mean that the empreinte one is not a good everyday bag. It's just slightly heavier. You just have to be a little bit more careful about scuffing the corners and such because it is all leather. If price is a concern, go with the canvas. But honestly, the leather one is so nice, and I love the fact that it opens so wide. I feel like it would have been just as good as an everyday bag. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I think our next Q&A will be next year in 2017. Hope you guys are well. I'm Amy, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!